Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to the Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Alright? Now, today's lesson is going to be titled, something along, I can't remember where exactly I had it, something along the lines of why would you celebrate this holiday, Israel? Or something along those lines, alright? And this holiday, as you can tell from the thumbnail, alright, is Independence Day, alright, aka 4th of July, alright, which we all know, alright, we were all back in the world, alright, it's a thing that you do, alright, it's a holiday, you blow off fireworks, alright, it's basically a big day to just blow shit up, alright, that's what you think of it when you're out in the world, alright. Now, as an Israelite, alright, as coming into this truth, alright, someone that believes in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, alright, and is following after, trying to keep the laws and commandments, alright, as to the best of their ability, and follow after the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, alright, to the best of their ability, alright. In no way are we perfect doing these things, alright, but we're putting in an effort. Alright, one of those things is you should not be celebrating these wicked holidays, alright? That's not just 4th of July, alright? That's 4th of July, Halloween, alright, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, alright, your birthday, alright? So does all these so-called names for these holidays, alright, that all go back to pagan ways, alright? Eventually, alright? You got Samhain or there's another one, Samhain, I think there's another name for it as well, alright, for the time of Halloween, alright. Then you have Saturnalia, alright, if I'm pronouncing that right, I think that's certain way to pronounce it, alright. It's been a while since I've pronounced it, alright, but that is so-called Christmas, alright. And then we know Thanksgiving and goes back to, just the improper treating of our people, as well as Independence Day goes back to the improper treating of our people, alright, as well as pagan ties as well, I'm sure somewhere down the line, alright. I don't have the information pulled up for that exactly, but I'm sure if you digged somewhere around you could find it, alright. 99% of these go back to pagan holidays, alright. But today we're just touching on Independence Day and why you shouldn't celebrate it, not necessarily for the pagan reasons, but for the direct meaning of it that's out there, alright, that everybody knows, alright. Independence Day, it says, is a federal holiday in the United States, alright? It's only celebrated in the United States. There's not, England's not celebrating the U.S.'s independence, alright? As you can see, it says United States. This is an American thing, alright? It says, commemorating the Declaration of Independence, which was ratified by the Second Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776. We're going to come back to that year in a minute, alright? It says the Second Continental Congress declared that the 13 colonies were no longer subject and subordinate to the monarch of Britain, King George III, and were now united, freed, and independent states. The Congress voted to approve independence on July 2nd and adopted the Declaration of Independence 2 days later on July 4th. It says Independence Day is commonly associated with fireworks, parades, barbecues, carnivals, fairs, picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions, political speeches, and ceremonies, in addition to various other public and private events celebrating the history, government, and traditions of the United States. So it's, what does it say? It says it's celebrating the history, the government, and the traditions of the United States. Independence Day is a national day of the United States, alright? So Israel, alright, if you're in this truth, and you men and women, both of you, alright, Jakes, alright, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, why the hell would you celebrate this? Why the hell would you celebrate? You're waiting for Babylon's downfall, but yet here you are celebrating the history, the government, and the traditions of the United States, alright? The United States being Babylon the Great, alright? Spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, alright? So why the fuck are you going to celebrate the history and the government of this place, alright? It makes no sense. Well, I'm just going to, and we've had moments where, and in my past where I was like, I'm not going to celebrate it, all right, but I just want to, use the fireworks to, make loud noises and blow shit up, all right. Well, the days that you're allowed to do that, the days that you're allowed to do that happen to be on Independence Day, all right, and I think like one day before. So basically, by doing that, you're still partaking. You're still you're basically celebrating that holiday, all right? And that's something in my past, all right? I'm not proud of it, all right? But it's, you think of these things when you first come in, all right? And I'm not, I haven't been in this truth long, all right? But I know there's brothers that have been in longer than me, and there's brothers that have been in less time than me, all right? So I'm not bigging myself up by any means. I'm just saying when you first come in, and you still have that kind of worldly mindset on you, all right? And you're trying to shed that skin, so to speak, all right? And there's going to be certain things like that'll stumble you, like, well, I don't want to celebrate the holiday. I just want to use the fireworks. But by using those fireworks, all right, technically, by using those fireworks on that day, you're celebrating, all right? Even if you're saying you're not participating, all right, or any of that thing, all right? It's just if you go to I'm not going to try to use a whole bunch of analogies, but basically by using those fireworks, you're basically celebrating, all right? Because that's one of the things associated with it, all right? And parades, all right. If you go and watch the parade, are you not celebrating? If you go down and watch the parade, are you not celebrating? You basically are. You're watching the parade, all right? Barbecues now. If you're having a barbecue, unless you can have a barbecue on the 4th of July, all right, as long as it's not intended for the 4th of July, all right. It didn't planned that you were gonna have a barbecue, and it just so happens to be on the day, it's a little weird, all right. But as long as you're not purposely celebrating it for and doing it for the 4th of July, all right, so-called Independence Day, all right, nothing wrong with that, all right. But it's the same with trying to cooking a turkey on Thanksgiving. It's you gotta think about that at that point. You're not celebrating Thanksgiving, but you're gonna have a turkey. All right, maybe just have something else that day. All right, and then we got picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions. All right, political speeches. It's all these things. All right, and it's not inherent if you end up having to attend one of those. All right, that's another thing. If you end up having to attend one of those, if you're under the age, all right, and you're still living with your parents. All right, and you have to, there's just certain things that you're going to have to do with humility. All right, try to work your way out of it the best you can. All right, but at the end of the day, some of you young brothers and sisters out there that have parents, all right, that you're still living with, it's going to be hard to get around these certain situations. All right, distance yourself as much as you possibly can. All right, and pray. All right, and continuously pray. All right, distance yourself. Take as little as activity as you possibly can in the events. All right, if you can get away with not lighting fireworks, all right, do it. All right, if you can get away with staying in your room that day, do it. All right, to the best of your ability. All right, but there's certain things that you're just gonna have to try to keep the peace with as well. All right, and that just goes back to having faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and praying, hoping that He gets you out of that situation. All right, but you don't wanna blow up on your mom and dad, because then that's a sin right there as well. All right, because that was dishonorable to them. All right, you're back talking, all right, against your parents, which you're not really supposed to be doing. All right, so it's just one of those things where you got to use circumspection. All right, have humility if you have to do it. All right, but that's for these people. For you people that are purposely celebrating it, all right, you're going off completely. All right, and it's going off if you're roped into it too, but you don't really have much of a choice at that point. All right, it's between one sin and another. All right, so you just got to pray at that point. All right, but for you people purposely celebrating this, all right, that's going off, all right, and what you're doing essentially is celebrating the captivity of your people, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, they go back to the houses of the tribes of Israel, respectively, all right, because this date right here, July 4th, 1776, slaves were still in captivity, all right, and there's still captivity going on, and there's still slavery going on to this day. They say they freed the slaves, all right, they never technically really freed the slaves. There's still slavery going on. All right, you just don't know about it as much. All right, 1776. All right, people were still very much enslaved. All right, so-called Negroes. All right, were still very much enslaved. All right, in slavery. All right, picking cotton on the fields, working. All right, during this so-called Independence Day. All right, independence. What does independence mean? Well, that's a dumbass definition here. All right.
Independent.
Independent. Free from outside control, not depending on another's authority. All right. Free. All right. Unrestrained, unconstrained, unhampered, liberated. All right. not depending on another for livelihood or substance, all right? Individualistic, unconventional, all right? Free, the main ones we're looking at is not depending on another's authority and free, all right? So, was it, if the slaves were still, in captivity, all right, in slavery, they didn't have independence, all right? So why the fuck are you celebrating this, Israel? Why the hell would you celebrate this, all right? This isn't the independence of your people, all right? We're still in captivity, all right? This is an Edomite celebration, all right? And here you are partaking in it, all right? And that's going off. Now, I just wanted to grab this, all right? This was a speech that was given by Frederick Douglass, all right, which he's not some, grand prophet, all right, or anything like that, all right? But he just said something that I wanted to touch on. All right, he had a speech. What to the slave is the 4th of July. All right, and down here it says, "What have I or those I represent to do with national independence, or the great principles of political freedom and natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? What to the American slave, all right, is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim." All right, what does it say? It says it reveals to him more than any other day of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to what he is the constant victim, which it's not necessarily, the most representative day of it. Every day is, all right, being in this hellhole, Babylon the Great, all right, but it just puts you into perspective, all right. This day should basically show you that why you were chained up, all right, and why they were, sodomizing the men, all right, and feeding our babies to alligators, all right, and raping our women. These fuckers were having an Independence Day, all right, shooting guns, blowing off fireworks, having parades, all right, barbecues, all right, fucking having fun and games, all right. They were having fun and games. Meanwhile, your wife just got raped, all right, and you just got a broomstick up the ass, and your baby just got fed to the alligators, all right, and they're celebrating Independence Day. So why would you celebrate this, Jake? Why would you celebrate it, all right? And we have scriptures to back this up, that you shouldn't even be celebrating any of those. Well, I don't celebrate, Christmas. I just, I like to, I like to have the tree there for, decoration. Bullshit, Jake. Oh, you're always trying to find a way out of it, all right? You're always trying to find a way out of it. We got scriptures now, all right? And this is just a short little lesson, all right? But I want to touch on it before the day comes around, all right? In case any of you see this, all right? You've been warned ahead of time. All right, this is Jeremiah 10:2-5, and it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen," all right, and the heathen being Esau, Edom, and as well as these other heathen nations, all right, that are not Jake, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, if they go back to those houses, all right, to those tribes, all right, and aren't tares, all right. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them," all right, and this was originally, this is speaking of false gods, all right, and false Christs, all right, and speaking of, be not dismayed of the signs of heaven, which of course is, speaking of the things coming to pass, all right, for the heathen are dismayed at them, all right, for the customs of the people are vain, all right, the customs of the people are vain. What does vain mean? Vain means without effect, all right, worthless, basically. Vain means worthless. Conceited, narcissistic, it's not the one, here it is. Number 2, all right, can be used for number 1 as well, which goes into pride, all right, producing no result, useless, all right, futile, useless, pointless, worthless, nugatory, to no purpose, ineffective, all right, in vain, failed, all right, no reason, all right. The customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of a forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. Ooh, what does that sound like? They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that move it not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. All right, they're upright, but they speak not upright things. All right, they must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither is in them to do good. All right, so not only are the heathens doing these things, our people are doing it as well. Just as the heathens were worshiping gods such as Serapis. All right, and if you haven't watched it yet, a few days ago, I believe it was a few days. It might have been a little bit long ago. The elder apostle Gabar, all right, did a wonderful lesson on the origins of Christianity, all right, which he mentioned Serapis, all right. It's like the original false Christ, all right. So, just like as our people were worshiping false gods and false Christs like him. All right, we were also taking part in not only worshiping their gods, but taking part in their holidays and their festivals and their feast days as well. All right, which is not something we're supposed to be doing as Israelites. All right, we're not supposed to be following after. What does it say? It says, "Learn not the way of the heathen." All right, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. All right, so we're not supposed to be learning these heathen customs and partaking in these heathen customs, having stupid fucking dirty ass dreads in your hair. You Jake out there, all right? That goes back to, those are called Shiva Jatas, all right? And that little it wasn't even supposed to be in this video, but speaking of heathen customs, all right, Shiva Jatas, all right. Shiva is a false god, all right. The Elamites, all right, the Indians, all right, worship, okay. And they believe that by putting those Shiva Jatas in your hair, you can basically transcend into godhood, all right? Or you basically take on the aspect of Shiva, all right, which is a false god, all right? It's false religion, all right? But that's what they believe. So putting those in your hair, that goes back to them, all right? Jake was the one who made it. Nope. That was Elamites. All right? They were the ones that started using those Shiva Jatas and stuff like that. And even if it did come further before them, dreadlocks originally formed from not washing your fucking hair, all right, and letting the shit get matty and fucking clump up, all right? That's some heathen shit, all right? We don't do that as Israelites, all right? Continuing on, Amos 5:21 through 5:24, all right? I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, and I will not hear the melody of thy viols. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. All right, so he hates and despises feast days. Oh, we're gonna praise God for Christian. He hates not for Christian, but for Christmas. All right, he hates Christmas. All right, Christmas is a vain holiday. All right, you think it's celebrating his birthday? It's not. It's not. Where did you even get this from? Okay, that comes from a pagan holiday. All right, called Saturnalia. All right, or Saturnalia. All right, you can look it up. All right, a lot of these Christian holidays, all right, were taken over from pagan holidays and just rebranded. All right, that's all it was. All right, that's all it was. It says, though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. All right, and this is speaking of in the past. Right now, obviously, people aren't. I mean, certain people might be. All right, but a lot of holidays don't require you to sacrifice an animal like that. All right, the pagan ones do. All right, but these Christmas things that you celebrate, they're just corporate holidays, all right, to go back to paganism. This is what they were originally doing, all right? Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols, all right? Those Christmas songs that sing about, Jesus Christ, all right? A false religion, all right? Take away from me the noise of those songs. I will not hear the melody of thy viols, all right? Why would he want it? Why would Yahushua want to hear a song about white Jesus, all right? It doesn't make any sense, all right? And then you got the national anthems that you'll be hearing at 4th of July, all right? Hearing that stupid ass "I'm Proud to Be an American" song, all right? You're gonna have the Star Spangled Banner, all right? You have all these Edomite songs, these Edomite anthems, all right? You're gonna have all of those, all right? And for what? All right? So you can celebrate the slavery of your people, Jake. All right? It's pointless. Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. All right, well, Christ, Hamashiach. All right, not Christ, Hamashiach. All right. So what does it say again? Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men. Does it say after the tradition of gods or the powers or angels? No, it says the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, after the rudiments of the Most High. No, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach, right? The Most High. All right, so these are things of the world. All right. What do we have to say about the world? All right, those are things of the world. If you're taking place in those, you're being worldly. What does the Bible have to say about that? All right, 1 John 2:5 through 17. 1 John 2:15, Salakia, through 2 and 17. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of flesh and the lust of eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. Verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. All right, so we're not supposed to be being worldly. All right, we're not supposed to be in this world. This isn't the lot of Jake. All right, well, it is for some of these 2/3. All right, but for the elect, eventually they're coming out of that. All right, because this isn't it. All right, this isn't it, man. This is not our rest. All right, this kingdom is not our rest. All right. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. All right, and sore means very grievous, very bad, terrible. All right, terrible destruction. All right, let's see. Here it is, Matthew 16:26. For what is man profiteth if he gaineth the whole world and loseth his own soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for a soul? All right, now I'm using this in the sense like, if you have all these worldly things and you're bigged up in the world, all right, you got all these nice things and you're celebrating these holidays, what's the profit of that? All right, that doesn't lead up to your salvation. All right, what are you profiting from that? Nothing. All right, what? I'll read it again. For what is a man profiteth if he shall gain the whole world? All right, so you gain the whole world for what? And loseth his own soul. So you got all that, all right. But guess what? At the end of the day, you didn't attain salvation, all right. So you're nothing. You're nothing. You messed up, all right. And that's a sad lot to be in, all right. And that's a lot of many, all right. That's the position many of our people are going to be in, 2/3 to be exact, all right. But the elect, all right, they're going to be waking up. They're going to try to come out of these things as best as possible, all right. Stay away from these wicked holidays. Stay away from these wicked traditions, all right. And all this stuff, all right? It's all these disgusting holidays, all right? And 4th of July, what else is going to happen? They're going to have barbecues, and you know what they're going to be cooking up? They're going to be cooking up pork ribs, all right? They're going to be cooking up pork chops, all right? Hot dogs, pork hot dogs, all right? Those cheap-ass fucking bar-ass hot dogs, all right? You used to get as a kid for 98 cents, all right? 78 cents, 75 cents. Those things were cheap as shit, all right? They were nothing. Just fucking assholes and guts scraped up off the floor and put into a tube, all right? And then it's sold to you, all right? It's disgusting, all right? So that's going to be going on, all right? A lot of wickedness goes on any of these holidays, all right? Lots of wickedness, all right? Romans 12:2, and then I'm going to close out. And be not conformed. Let's see, we want to... Here, let's just start up. Let's read up. What are we supposed to do? All right. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. All right. It's a reasonable service. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right. The renewing of your mind, coming in this truth, getting all that dirtiness out of it. All right. And removing that, all right, renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High, all right. So don't be conformed to this world, all right. It's what are you going to gain from it? Destruction. That's the only thing you can possibly gain from being in this world and loving these things in the world, all right. So if you've done it, hey, that's where repentance comes in hand, all right. You got to repent for those things, all right. Come out of this world, repent, stop doing it, all right. If you celebrated last year, don't celebrate this year, all right. It's simple as that, all right? If I already got the fireworks, throw the shit away, all right? Is money more important than salvation? It's not, all right? It's not worth it, all right? Just stop. Just don't do it, all right? And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by that renewing of your mind, all right? Get all that dirt off of it, all right? Get brainwashed, all right? They use these terms, oh, you're brainwashed, all right? Brainwashed is a good thing. That means clean. Clean means clean. It means clean. What you don't want to be is in the world being brain dirtied, all right? So, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? So, don't be doing that stuff anymore, all right? You're in this truth, all right? You got different things that need taken care of, all right? Like, studying, all right, and waiting for the return of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? You got to think, how would you look if the Most High showed up and you had a sparkler in your hand, all right? You'd look ridiculous, all right? So don't do it, all right? Come out of the world, all right, and get in this truth, all right, and repent. All right, so with that, I'm going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until the next one, Lord willing. Shalom.